Aniket, there was one question related to human resources.
Yeah.
So, the question is, at least most of the tasks of the human resource can be automated or can be performed by others. Will there be any future in pursuing the human resources as business or in business?
No, of course. I mean, I can see also a similar question, not related to human resources, to say, is automation in industry a threat or an opportunity, an advantage? And of course, you translate this question to certain professions, and you end up with a similar question. No? The point is neither a threat or an opportunity, is something that's changing the game. Okay, so let me give you a practical example. IBM used to have literally 100 of recruiters until a few years ago. 100 is an organization of 420,000 people, and a couple of hundred of them were in the business of recruitment because this organization recruit 20 to 25,000 people per year. So think about the size of the World Bank, which is 20,000 people recruited every year. They developed Watson and are recruiting people through facial recognition, at least most of the people in most of the jobs, not all of them in every job, okay? So they don't need recruiters in the traditional way of doing recruitment. So they don't have a person to say, oh, Mr. Paolo Gallo, thank you. How do you see yourself in 5 years' time? Oh, you studied at Bocconi. Oh, you work at the work. That profession is gone, is dead. What they have, where they are, let's say, done for this recruiter is to say, we train you in understanding the behavioral traits through facial recognition. And then we develop behavioral traits or competencies that are needed in certain professionals. And your job is to understand the result of the facial recognition, develop these competencies, and understand what the business needs in order to give them the best possible candidate. So here, you can say it's a threat or it's an opportunity. I don't know. What I do know, that a certain way of doing business is no longer relevant, and a new way of doing this business becomes more relevant, which fundamentally means, if you think about, that it's not only important what you know, but your adaptability to keep on learning new things, okay? So there is a term which is called learning agility. Learning agility, I mean, it's nothing more than, hey, you got to learn new things because life is changing quite rapidly. And if you don't have that dimension, you may have a wonderful PhD at Harvard, but if you cannot learn new things and you're stuck in your own ways, your PhD at Harvard worth near to nothing. But if you're constantly learning based on the skills that you already developed and you constantly develop more and more, you will continue to be relevant in whatever industry. And so keep on increasing your value, and I think you'll be fine.
So I think we should conclude this session, Aniket.
Yes, thank you so much,
sir. More than 60 minutes, yeah.
Okay.
Dr. Paolo, I would like to thank you again for your willingness to participate and your flexibility of time to come and educate us all on the emerging trends in the industry during COVID-19. Okay. Dr. Vaneeta, if you can just conclude this thing.
Yeah, I also express my thanks and deep gratitude to Dr. Paolo Gallo to come and educate all the students here. Most of them are MBAs, most of them are fresh graduates or final year students. Thank you all the participants for being here, and it's our joy, it's our deep pleasure to hold this webinar, and thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thanks so much for inviting me, and good luck on your journey. It's been a pleasure.
Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dr. Paolo. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.